think that's really, really important. That we don't get stuck in the system ourselves, and we don't adopt the attitudes of the world. We have different attitudes, and we have different values, and we have different sense of worth. And the way we see the world is the way God sees it, rather than what we've been conditioned to seeing it by the societies we've been brought up in. And we're all influenced by our own cultures. That might be a religious culture, might be a political culture, might be a national culture, but we all are influenced in one way or another. What is kingdom culture? And I would suggest it's a counterculture to whatever the world's culture is. It's going to counter it in the positive. And we have to see the kingdom of God fill the earth. If we're going to see the restoration of all things, the kingdom of God needs to fill the earth. And that's us, because the kingdom is within us and needs to flow through us, because it's the kingdom of heaven. It's the heavenly attitudes and the heavenly aspects of that which need to manifest on earth. So love and forgiveness and blessing and all of those positive things. And we're the responsible ones for filling the earth with it. If people think that Jesus is just going to pour it out somewhere, it's just going to happen, I think they're going to realize that that isn't the case. It is us that it flows through. And the more we expand our boundaries and our spheres of government increase as God's children, the more that will begin to be filled with heaven on earth. And then as we come together, there will be a corporate manifestation of that. So I believe everyone is called and uniquely, wonderfully made, and has a unique purpose, and therefore manifests things in the way that they're wired. And we're all very different. You love sort of the numbers and all those things. I don't notice even the time, let alone, because I don't, that's just not something that is important to me or that God uses. But for you, he does. And that is, I think, the precious nature of our individual uniqueness to God and the way he speaks to us in a wonderfully different ways. And they're all equally valid. And I think that's the important thing, to see the way God speaks to you, the way God speaks to me and Mary and Catherine, they're all equally valid. And we need to discover them in our relationship with God, which may be different from anyone else's relationship with God. Not that it's any less or more, it's just different. And I think that's the uniqueness and the manifold and the multifaceted nature of God, and the way he's chosen to make us all different, to reflect some of those wonderful facets of his character and nature and person.
Yeah, I'll quote him. He once told me he marvels at the individuality of man. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, whoa. And as for there, I've been many places on this earth. I haven't been there where you are yet. We were on our way before the pandemic hit, and we had to get refunds and all of that. But we're supposed to be coming back as things have lightened up. We'll see. Supposed to be coming back at the end of this year. So with my feet on the ground, I might feel like I have more authority to help out. It's as led by him. I tell him, I lay my will like a crown at his feet. And I say, Lord, you cannot usurp my free will. I freely give it to you. And I say that continuously, and I enjoy saying it.
Yeah, no, we're very similar there, because that was something I would just establish every day for years and years and years, until it became so ingrained in me that now it's just my state of conscious reality. It's like it is now the way I am and think, and it is that is it. But it's wonderful the way all of us have different roles and aspects to play in it all. But the great thing is we don't have to be passive. We don't have to be passively waiting for something to happen. We need to be proactively legislating and governing as sons of God to bring the kingdom and establish God's rule on earth as it is in heaven. That is our identity, our mandate, and in sonship. And we don't have to be passive about that. We can be very, very active in how we're experiencing the reality of the expression of God's kingdom, you know. And it's great, you know, you're legislating for the things you do, I'm legislating for the things I do, and we're all doing the things that God has intended us to do within our destiny. And we don't have to compare each other. We can just rejoice and celebrate in the things each of us is embracing and doing and outworking, and be encouraged by the fact that we're all expressing aspects of God's kingdom, which is pretty awesome. Yeah.